The Goodest Good Guy. Welcome, my little friends. Ready to dive into another amazing tale? Make sure to hit subscribe button so you never miss a new story. In the lively town of Critterville, there was a young lizard named Leo who believed he was destined to be a hero. Leo wasn't big like a gorilla, fast like a cheetah, or sneaky like a fox. In fact, he was just a little lizard with a big red cape that he made himself out of an old curtain. It dragged behind him and got caught on everything, but Leo thought it made him look like a real hero. Leo called himself the Goodest Good Guy, and he had one simple mission: to help everyone, everywhere, all the time, even if they didn't ask for it. One sunny afternoon, Leo spotted a group of ants struggling to carry a huge crumb across the sidewalk. He jumped in, shouting, "Don't worry, citizens, the Goodest Good Guy is here to help." He grabbed the crumb, but it was too heavy for his tiny arms. He wobbled and wobbled until splat! He fell flat on his face, and the ants politely asked him to step aside. Next, Leo saw Mrs. Fluffykins, the town's cat, trying to sunbathe in peace. Leo thought she looked thirsty, so he zoomed over with a giant water balloon. "A refreshing splash for a sunny day," he announced, launching the balloon. But instead of landing gently, the balloon exploded, soaking Mrs. Fluffykins from head to tail. She meowed in outrage and chased Leo all the way down the street, dripping wet. Feeling a bit embarrassed, Leo decided it was time for a grand heroic act. He heard from his friend Ollie the Owl that the giant apple pie at the Critterville Fair was going to be put on display that very evening. This was Critterville's pride and joy, a pie so big it needed its own tent. Leo had an idea. What if he surprised everyone by taking the first slice for a brave and daring taste test? Surely that would make him the hero of the day. He snuck into the fairgrounds and crawled under the tent. There it was, the biggest, shiniest, most delicious pie he'd ever seen. Without thinking twice, Leo leaped onto the pie, cape fluttering, and took a huge, triumphant bite. The next moment, the whole pie wobbled. Then whoosh! Leo sank right into the middle of it. Covered in sticky apple filling, he tried to crawl out, but the pie was like quicksand. By the time the fair's organizers found him, he looked like a gooey, apple-covered creature from a monster movie. Everyone in Critterville burst out laughing. Even Mrs. Fluffykins, who had dried off by then, couldn't stop giggling. They gently pulled Leo out of the mess, and instead of scolding him, they made him the honorary taste tester for all future fairs, on the condition that he use a fork. From then on, Leo remained the Goodest Good Guy, but he learned that sometimes being a hero means knowing when not to help. He still wore his bright red cape, and every year at the fair, he'd stand proudly next to the giant pie, a fork in one hand and a big smile on his face. And even if he made mistakes, the town knew one thing for sure: with Leo around, Critterville would always be a funnier, messier, and happier place. The end.